Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Logical, and I am bringing you FPS Weekly number 30 tonight. And also, this is Leopold. He is a cat. He is white and gray and fluffy. So first off is Battlefield 5, possibly set in World War I. Now, the reason for this is that apparently there was a little thing that EA said, and EA released that potentially Battlefield 5 could be set in World War I, which is very interesting and very unusual, considering that even in the terms of classical shooter games, there have not been a whole lot that have been set in World War I. Most have centered around World War II onwards. World War I and like the Civil War and such, when it comes to the shooter aspect, not really the best in terms of gameplay mechanics when they're trying to emulate it, because like everything is bolt action and you know you can't really do much. It's like trench warfare and artillery shells and all that. It's just, in general, it wasn't really the best possible time, and wasn't really the greatest thing for making a war-based shooter game. So that's a potential. I personally don't think that it is actually set in World War I. More likely that it is a futuristic game, because that's where everything is right now in the shooter realm. Pretty much every single shooter game right now takes place in the near future, the far future, whatever. All have a somewhat futuristic theme. Isn't that right, Leopold? He agrees. Next up, we have SuperHot, which is coming to VR. This is not really that surprising. SuperHot, for those of you that are unaware, is a game that just released a little bit ago, like this week. And on top of that, I covered it last year, actually. I think shortly after E3 2015 is when I covered SuperHot. And basically, it's a first-person shooter that has very unique mechanics, where if you are not moving, time stops. So you have to like plan stuff accordingly with the trajectories of bullets that are coming out of the guns from your your enemies and what they're shooting and such. And you're very talkative today, Leopold. Next up, we've got some details regarding No Man's Sky. Is coming out in April, I think. I don't remember the date. It's either April or May. One thing I do remember, though, is the price. It is going to be $60 when it releases. And I'm sorry if I'm looking over. I'm looking to see what Leopold's up to. Might need to let him out of my room. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to do that, so just a sec. I'll be right back. Anyway, No Man's Sky will be $60 at release, which some people are like, oh my god, why is it $60? Man, it's that single player. Man, why is it $60? Man. And basically, the reason why is it's a AAA title. Not really. It's not really a AAA title. It is an indie game. It's an indie game with the quality of a AAA, considering that it was funded somewhat by Sony and such. And it's like, yeah, this shouldn't really be that surprising to anyone that it's full price. What is interesting is that there is a $140 version, which I don't know what that entails. No one really. That's one thing that wasn't really covered in this release, is that no one really knows what's in the $140 version over the $60 version that makes it so much of a difference that justifies it being that extra and additional cost. Maybe in the $140 version you can actually like do parties with your friends and such, and explore the universe as a group, and do stuff together, instead of it being like this somewhat trippy psychoanalytic thing, like, oh, well, there are 15 quintillion planets out in the universe of No Man's Sky which you explore on your own and craft stuff with materials that you mine from the planets on your own, get better weapons with on your own. Like, come on! Like, everyone wants to play with their friends. It's kind of the big thing that is somewhat necessary. So I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully the developers find No Man's Sky, either resolve this, address it, whatever, make some kind of actual statement regarding it. And our penultimate story for the week is a game called STRAFE, which is an old school pixelized shooter that is more along the lines of like Doom or Quake or something like that, and it's basically just being brought into the modern age, like modern age version of this game that takes on a classical appearance and classical take on the shooter genre, and just kind of like making it somewhat modern-ish in different ways and such, like better particle effects, better gore effects, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it is supposed to be coming in early 2017. So there's not really much to say about it besides that. Just that stuttering. Yeah. So that's what's going on with STRAFE. Looks good. Might try it out. Finally, Rainbow Six Siege gets patched again. You know, this game was hailed as like something absolutely revolutionary. Like, oh my god, Rainbow Six Siege. Oh wow, we can do so many cool things with it. Like, wow, it's a squad-based tactical shooter. Wow, how are we able to do these kinds of things? We have to be actually like tactical and maneuvering and be clever and crap. Whoa. And now the funny thing that is happening is that with these updates that they're adding in, it basically adds a kill cam, it tweaks the spawns and some other stuff, but really kind of Rainbow Six Siege is kind of morphing just a little bit into something like COD, where it's like totally like Rainbow Six Siege is this underclassman that is struggling so hard and that is looking up to COD. It's like, notice me, senpai, notice me. That's kind of what it's doing right now, and it's ridiculous and weird and such. But hey, I don't judge, especially since I don't actually have the game myself. But Sir Grogshire does. He has it. He likes it. So that's a thing. Anyway, this is Logical, and I will be seeing you guys next week with episode 31 of FPS Weekly. I shall see you all then.